So thank you all, and like it's already pretty much time we are here for the API days, and like it's almost last session, and I will try to not bore you. So let's start with this. So my today's topic is like strategies for generating dynamic and realistic mocks for the event-driven APIs. So this is the like short introduction of my like I'm Harshvardhan. I'm a software engineer and with a passion and the addiction for the open source. So and like I'm working as at Yosemite Group as a software engineer, and I am maintaining Microcks CLI, which is a CLI tool for the Microcks. Apart from that, like everything should run on scale. It's my motto. Basically, like when think about this thing, so like that is the basic thing. Apart from that, I am a music lover. I keep listening to the Bollywood music, especially from the love songs. Am I audible? Am I audible now? Hello, 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 hello.
Mic test.
Yeah. So hello. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yeah. Now it's okay. So yeah. So like I gave my introduction without mic. So that's pretty much thing. And now let's move forward with the today's topic. So like as you can see, messages are everywhere, and there is a rise in the event-driven APIs. But like there's a reason why there is a rise in the event-driven APIs. So as you can see, like now the people are moving to the distributed systems. Everything is distributed. Like there are multiple rise. There are rise in the multiple IoT-based services where you are getting the asynchronous request and response. You are getting asynchronous data across multiple. IoT based applications or the different microservice and all the stuff. So like that is why like everything is going to distributed and pretty much rise in the basically and the messages and the event driven APIs. Now the like why mocking the APIs matter. So like as you see, we are in currently like there is a too much rise in the contract first approach. So like people generally starting from the defining contracts as their first priority, and then like they are trying to define their APIs and their architecture based on that those contracts. So to like work this kind in this kind of stuff, and so contract is the first single source of truth, and based on your contracts you can generate the mocks. And that's why like while you can simulate this real time APIs based on your contracts, and like then your front end team and your back end team can work individually. They can, and then like at the end they can combine all their APIs and all their request response things. Yeah. So that is the main approach for the mocking the APIs. And apart from that, like this mock APIs can work as your contract test. So you can test your actual APIs against these contracts, and then you can put into your CI/CD and test your APIs. And it pretty much faster your development and the your deployment life cycle. The challenges for the mocking event driven APIs. So rather than like in the rest we have a simple payload, and like we mostly define as like a what we want as a rest response. That is not the case with the event driven APIs, because the event driven APIs are mostly combined or the dependent on the different kinds of events, and there are some event chaining, there are ordering, there are the delays which basically happens. So this kind of stuffs are very much difficult to simulate in the mocks. And apart from that, like there is a message schema evolves up around the time. So like there is a contract drift over there. That is the like one of the major challenge for the mocking event driven APIs. And that's why like static mocks can basically simulates your real time APIs for the event driven. So this is the pretty much thing. So like it cannot like we cannot design it as a request and response. It's a basically stream and depends on the particular event. Let's say if you have multiple events. Let's say if you have one let's say e-commerce based application, you have one purchase event. Then purchase event mostly triggers the, so like you have one payment completion event, then payment completion event triggers the logistic event, and then shipment events and all that stuff. So like this is the thing where the events are basically dependent on the actual or the multiple events over there. And the payloads are not fixed most of the time in the event driven APIs. So that is the thing. Apart from that, like message orders are also important. Let's say if some based on the like order chaining, we have particular event and then the second event is happening. So that is the case with the message ordering. And like it basically like static mocks cannot reflect the actual producer and consumer based approach. So that is the another case. And like mostly schema evolves at time, and it generally like very sooner or later it becomes the outdated. So that's the another problem with the mock of the event driven systems. So now this is the thing. Like then there are some challenges we have to handle in the asyncs. So in the asyncs, like they are the back pressure, like where we have multiple events in the queues and all that stuff. Apart from that, there are retries where like a particular event cannot happen, like there has some retries over there, so like we have to handle that. And then like there are the duplication things, like one event can occur multiple times, so like we have to handle the duplication, and this is the challenge for this. And apart from that, like the based on the time, these events can change, so like it should be a temporal context, so the time context should be there, and based on the time the events should be changing over there. So this is the pretty much challenges of the async one. And now, for the solution, there is async API. Async API brings your ordering to the event chaos. So async API is basically open standard for defining your open like event-driven schemas. It can like you can define your messages, your channels, your bindings over there, and then it can like work as your contract for the event-driven APIs. And then like it can share between teams, and that is the only thing. And this is the foundation of the contract based approach for the async API. Now mock that like we have like, now we have to like mock this async APIs which simulates the actual overview, the actual timing. So what the thing is, like we have to go beyond the actual we have to go beyond the payloads. We should simulate the behaviors, like what is the actual behavior of the particular event. And then like we have to produce the producer and consumer interaction. So like once we have one event produced, we have to like consumed by some of the consumer, and then like there is some certain things happening. And then like we have maintained the states of the flow, message flow and all that. So that is the thing. And then like also during this mock we have previously seen there is a message there is a challenge called message chaining. So like there is a message chain on the particular event, there is on the occurrence of the particular event another event will get called. So that is the thing we have to simulate, and that is the like our main goal for the mocking this API. And like then we have to enable the integration testings and before real service exists. So that's the main like that is the main goal of our mocking, because like we are doing this mocking for our test for as a contract. We are using this our mocks as a contract test for their actual APIs, and that is the thing. Now so adding the realism, so like what we can do is like we can control this event timing. So where the particular event can happen, we can control the delays. We can like simulate out of the order and duplicate message. So like we can define like on particular on the occurrence of a particular event will get called. Then like we can define timings, like where the on which frequency a particular event get occurred. And then like we can basically like get into this duplication of message. We can basically like detect where manage the duplication, and then we can try to reduce this. Then like we can enable reply and debugging for the regression test, validate this ordering guarantees and latency behaviors. So this is the thing. And we can like capture and reuse the real traffic traces. So basically like if you have already a system, you can use the like already existing system as your real traffic traces, and then you can reuse to build a newer schema, and then you can go with the temporal solution. Now so like now the next thing is like making mocks are smarter in the context of it. So we use like schema driven templates to generate messages. So as we say, like async API is the schema for this event driven APIs. We can use this to template and the generate messages. Then like we can inject context variables like IDs. Let's say if we have ID, we can use it as a random value, so which will be generating based on the times and the particular script we have used. And then we can have correlation keys between the multiple events, so it will define the relation between the events. And then like scenario based mocking, so like we are defining the happy path, like this is the like actual path of the API. Then like we can define the edge cases, and then we can go to the like errors for the particular thing. And then like you can that's the thing. And like you use example rules from the async API for the real estate data. So the async API provides the example for this. Now, so this is the thing, like the async API is a tool for this thing. Now you come to the mocks, and I can remember like in the like today's first session, Lucas mentioned about the Microcks. So here is the Microcks for you guys. Yeah. So Microcks is basically a API mocking and testing tool where you can like provide your contracts, and the Microcks will generate a mocks for you. It pretty much supports all kinds of APIs, like whether it's a event driven or REST APIs or a gRPC or a GraphQL one. Now, so like what Microcks do is like Microcks use your contract and your examples, and then it will convert your random examples into the real life mocks, and then you can you can test your mocks again against your actual APIs. Microcks basically supports all kind of protocols. Like you can use for Kafka, you can define the bindings in the async API, and then based on the bindings, Microcks will try to like support the Kafka, MQTT, WebSockets, SNS, and like multiple stuff like this. So this is the pretty much overview about the Microcks. Now let's go with the demo. So I have one Microcks. So like in Microcks, there is one Docker compose file where Microcks will start your container for the Microcks, then the required container for the Kafka as well. So we are using Kafka as a message broker over here. So now you can see the yeah. So now my Docker compose is running. There is one Microcks Kafka, which is a Kafka broker. There is a Microcks, which is the main Microcks. Then async minion, which is a basically a tool to like provide the which is contacting with your Kafka broker over there. So now let's go with this example. So here there is one example called write events. Right. So like in this we have some examples. We have one write request over here. We have one write accepted, and when we have one write completed. So basically like in where we are using something like Uber and the Rapio, there is a like we are requesting a ride, then it sends to data to the like driver, and then they accept, and then once completed you will get the notified, right? So this is the thing for this. So now you can see in the ride requested we have this payload, which there is a ride ID, user ID, pickup, destination, and the requested it, like where is at which time it requested. And this is the simple payload, which is a rider's ID, user's ID, pickup destination, destination, and where you want to go, and the request time. I will use this schema or this contract to generate a mocks for this. So I will go to the Microcks instance, which is running at localhost 8080, and I have already this, so I will delete this first. Yeah. Now I'll go to the import. I will upload a newer contract. I'll choose a file, and then there is a first version. I'll use this and I'll upload it. So now you can see we have this mocks over here, and now I can test this as if I do the cat, and then there is a called publish. There is one event consumed write requested. So if I copy this one and I'll edit over here, so you can see I am getting the messages. But now we will say, Harsh, you told that there is a dynamic mocks, but this is the static one, right? So now there is the thing called mock templates in Microcks. So basically, when you are using the Microcks, we have defined some scripts where you can like basically use to mock your generate a random values, and which is simulated to your actual values. So you can use this mock templates, and I'm using this for the next version, which is a 1.0.1. So now you can see over here in the right requested, we have this the same stuff, but now I use this random int from 1000 to 9999. So like now it will generate a dynamic mocks for me. It will generate a rider ID, different, like mocking the rider ID and dynamically, and then the same with the user ID, then pickup, destination, and the request added. Similarly, I did this with this write accepted one, and the thing is we are done with this. So now if I go to the Microcks, I'll import the new one. I'll go to the importer, I'll choose it as a 1.0.1, and now once I upload it, you can see sorry, I got not reflected or something else. Yeah, so this is the thing, and now you can see, so mocks are generating dynamically. So this is the thing with the Microcks. You can do this step. Apart from that, like there is a particular thing called a dispatcher rule, where you can use basically delay. You can put your delays. If you go to this API examples in the Microcks, there is one thing called API examples, and then you can put down your it is like defining your actual API examples for the Microcks, and then you can put your things over here, and then it will able to generate the mock like dynamic relays and all that stuff for the apart from that, we have another dispatcher rule we are implementing right now, which is basically you can like do the order chaining the order of the messages. So once like you have triggered a particular event, it will generate a subsequent events over there. So this is the stuff for the this topic, and the thing is like it is pretty much about the mocks for the event driven APIs. Yeah. And so like the key takeaways for like this is like static mocks are not the same as the real event systems. So that's why like we need the dynamic mocks. We have this we are using this AsycnAPI for the contracts, and like we are using behavioral plus temporal mocking for their mocking or realism. And we should start from the small, and then like as I said, like we start from the small contract, and then as we are growing, we'll keep adding over there, and then we'll evolve the schema over there. Yeah, so this is the thing. And let's so like at Microcks we are building this mocking and testing for the APIs, and pretty much like everyone is invited for the contribution, for the suggestion. If you guys want anything else from the Microcks, please come to our Discord or come to the GitHub discussion and add your suggestions over there. We'll definitely try to do it. And if you want to contribute it, you can come to the Microcks and raise your PR, and we'll try to accept it. Yeah, so that's pretty much about this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Any questions?
So, is there support for multiple AsycnAPI specs in Microcks? Let's say I have a master spec and multiple YAML files. Is there support for that also?
Yeah, so we have the secondary called, like if you go over here in the Microcks importing stuff, where like you can this secondary artifacts thing. So like you can tick this, like you can check this, and then it will use as a secondary, and then it will merge with the existing one.
Another question which I had is like for the examples one, for the randomizer example one.
Yeah.
So let's say I want to generate docs also. That randomizer string will still be there, so it might be problematic for human readable docs, right?
Yeah.
So how do you resolve that?
So currently, like we don't have support for this. We'll definitely look for this because like so the thing is like first what we are doing is like we are thinking like the contract are implemented first by the human, and then like based on those contracts the people are generating the APIs, and like you are saying the first people generates API and then based on the APIs they generate the contracts, right?
What I'm asking is like, let's say we have a spec right now, the example spec.
Yeah.
You have a random number string.
Yes.
And all the
Yes,
functions
yes.
are there.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm generating docs using that same spec as well as doing the contract testing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the docs which will be generated will have an example with that.
Okay,
particular
okay,
function.
yeah. So like currently we don't have support for this because like what we are doing is like we are using it as the only source, and like what we can do is like you can like generate us another example, and then like from that example you can pick up at human readable form.
So is it possible to?
Yeah.
define-
Yes. So like you can generate basically like in this example file if you go here is the example name, right, accepted, right? So like you can define multiple examples over there. Yeah.
I understand this is offered as a CLI, so it can be integrated via GitLab
Yeah.
CI pipelines.
Yes.
Do we also have kind of a plugin that can be integrated with IDEs so that the developers can mock it as they build it?
So like currently we don't have that like support for this, but we have like exposing the MCP tools for this. So like we are exposing MCP support, and like your basic like your the chat agents can use this MCPs, and based on that you can like talk with the Microcks. Yeah, but like if you have any particular use case, please like share with us. We'll definitely try to implement it.
Yeah, sure. We'll
Yeah,
connect
thank
with
you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you so much, Harsh. Please give me a round of applause.
Thank you so much, everyone.
And with that being said, we have come to the end of